Finish who? We will finish you today.
They built it together. They fought the system together.
Usiue mimi vile baba yako aliua Jaiya Mkariuki.
Mr. President, please stop talking about me.
And rose to power together. After the 2022 elections, the two hustlers occupied the throne. They enjoyed the power, but soon cracks appeared. Whispers of betrayal, best friends turning into enemies.
Fisi akitaka kula mtoto yake anaanza kusema ananuka kama mbuzi.
Then came the motion. 11 charges.
Rigathi Gachagua must go home, not by walking, but by running, Honorable Speaker.
From defending the government to defending himself. From second in command to fighting for survival.
Hata kama hamuna heshima kwangu, simwachane na mimi tu.
I have no intention whatsoever to resign from this job.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
I am Sir Millennium, and this is Betrayal on the Throne, Part 1.
For Kenya to grow, Gachagua must go.
The deputy president is going nowhere.
As the 2022 elections approached, Kenya's political battlefield had narrowed down to two giants, Kenya Kwanza and Azimio la Umoja. It was clear to everyone that this will be a two-horse race.
Si ni ule wa kujiapisha.
Mimi niliajiri yeye kama waziri yangu ya kilimo. Alipoiba mahindi nikafuta yeye.
Tumupandishe kwa wheelbarrow express mpaka Bondo.
Hiyo ni burukenge.
Inside the Kenya Kwanza camp, one critical question remained. Who will be William Ruto's running mate? Now, Mount Kenya held the numbers, but the region was divided among powerful leaders. Two names stood out, Kithure Kindiki and Rigathi Gachagua. For weeks, there were intense consultations, negotiations, and political lobbying. Then, on 15th May 2022, William Ruto made his decision.
The Kenya Kwanza running mate candidate, my brother and friend, Rigathi Gachagua.
For many Kenyans, it was the first time they were hearing his name on the national political stage. The question spread across the country. Who is Rigathi Gachagua? The former district officer and husband to Pastor Dorcas Rigathi, with whom he has two children, Kevin and Kate, Rigathi Gachagua is a seasoned political administrator, businessman, and a politician from Majira constituency in Nyeri County. Born in 1965, he began his career in the provincial administration, later serving as personal assistant to then Minister Uhuru Kenyatta in the early 2000s. After leaving public service, he joined private business before entering elective politics, winning the Majira parliamentary seat in 2017. Now, before the 2022 elections, then Deputy President William Ruto was going through a period of political isolation. His relationship with President Uhuru Kenyatta had publicly collapsed after the famous handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga.
Wewe sasa unaanza kunithreaten mimi. Ati utanifanya nini? Bora usiue watoto wangu.
Hata kama tulikuwa tumekubaliana ati tutabadilishana pale mbele, hapa hakuna kitu tutabadilishana.
Wacha kuniletea maneno, my friend.
Mimi sina ulimi mbili kama nyoka.
Many of Ruto's allies were pushed out of the government, and his political space continued to shrink.
Ukikuja hapa unasema, unajua nyinyi mahasala, sisi tuko huko. Hapana, sijasema hiyo.
Stop talking about me. Talk about your candidate.
We cannot live a life of cheating people.
I supported you when you needed a man to support you. If you do not want to support me, leave me alone.
At this critical moment, Ruto needed more than supporters. It was during this time that Rigathi Gachagua emerged.
Wewe rais, ukitaka kuunga Raila mkono, uendelee umpigie kura yako. Zetu wachane na sisi, tumpigie William Samoei Ruto.
Not just as Ruto's running mate, but as one of his strongest political shields against what they described as a coordinated political attack from his rivals Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga.
Wewe kitendawili ukuwa tayari, tutaonana na wewe mondo kwa mondo. Mimi Rigathi Gachagua ndio nilipatiwa Uhuru Kenyatta na Moi mwaka wa 2002. Hakuna kitu alijua. Nilimtoa kwa baa, alikuwa mlevi. Nikamuuta, nikamsaidia, nikamfanya akakuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya.
A little known but fearless politician from Madira, who was now eyeing the position of the second in command, Gachagua spoke with unusual boldness and aggression.
Tafadhali rais, usiue mimi vile baba yako aliua JM Kariuki. Usitume Kinoti kuniua na kuomba rais tafadhali.
He portrayed Ruto as a victim of a system determined to block his rise.
Mumehangaisha huyu William Ruto, siku zenu muanze kuhesabu. Umenitesa ya kutosha Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Umeninyang'anya mali yangu. Umenipeleka kotini. Umefunga kampuni zangu. Umenitendea kama mnyama. Umenitesa kama mtu hujui. Na mimi ndio nilikusaidia mpaka ukakuwa rais wa Kenya.
Most importantly, he mobilized the Mount Kenya region, turning it into Ruto's political refuge and stronghold. As the Jubilee government weakened and split, Ruto built something new, the hustler movement.
Saizi mimi nimesema nitafanya kampeni hawa mahasla.
It was a message of poor versus the powerful, the outsider versus the dynasty.
Kwani iko makosa tukisaidia hawa watu wa chini?
Gachagua became its strongest voice in Mount Kenya. He preached a message of shared struggle, that power had been controlled by a few families for decades, and that it was now time for the children of peasants, boda riders, mamambogas and hustlers to take their place in leadership.
Nilizaliwa pale Herega, sikuwa na chochote. Nilikuwa naishi kwa nyumba ya nyasi. Nilikuwa nimehangaika. Nilikuwa nimekosa chakula na school fees siku mingi. Mungu akaniinua na sisi tupata nafasi tuinue wengine.
The August 9th, 2022 election was bitter and highly contested. But on 15th August 2022, the Independent Electoral Advisory Commission declared William Ruto as president-elect and Rigathi Gachagua as deputy president-elect. On 13th September 2022, the two men were sworn into office.
William Samoei Ruto.
To the hustlers, this was not just politics, it was destiny. It felt like answered prayers. For the first time, many ordinary Kenyans believed that one of their own had risen to the top, a man who spoke their language, who talked about wheelbarrows and small businesses.
Upper bottom, alafu tuende up.
There was hope in the air, hope that jobs would come, hope that the cost of living would fall, hope that the son of peasant could sit at the top and still remember the poor.
Wapate mali, wanunue ma-pick-up, akina mama waende saluni watengenezwe nywele, wakuwe warembo, tukae vile tunataka kukaa.
For their opponents, it was a shock. How could men without the support of the so-called deep state defeat candidates believed to have a state backing? On inauguration day, the two stood side by side, smiling in triumph. The alliance built through struggle had taken power. And even on that day, Gachagua continued his sharp criticism on former President Uhuru Kenyatta, adding more nails to the political cross of the man he had already crucified during the campaign period.
We have come to the treasury and the coffers are empty. We have inherited a dilapidated economy.
Kenya now had what many call the two hustlers at the top. The deputy president even earned a new political nickname, Reggie G. And with also remembering what had happened to him when he served as deputy president, he was once asked whether the same could happen to his own deputy once they took power, and he had this to say:
I would not allow my deputy president to be humiliated the way former deputy presidents have been humiliated and the way I have been humiliated.
Minutes became hours, hours became days, days became weeks. President Ruto and Deputy President Gachagua appeared inseparable. They attended events together, they laughed together, and showed unity. Headlines painted a picture of a strong brotherhood, a political partnership born in struggle and now enjoying power. But as weeks turned into months, the tone began to change. The headlines shifted, questions started to emerge. Gachagua began missing key state functions and high-level events. It became clear that the throne was facing trouble.
Wabunge wetu wabode na ufa. Hata kama hamuna heshima kwangu, simuachane na mimi tu.
Where's the deputy president? Some headlines asked.
Kwa ile group ya diary ya rais niliondolewa. Kwa hivyo sina access ya kujua pahali yako anaenda wapi. Sijapatiwa sababu ya kuondolewa na sijauliza. Iko singine nimepanga kuja Bomet asubuhi, ndege hakuna. Nimepanga tena kuja, ndege hakuna.
Some sources said that he had gone unusually silent. Others even claimed that he had switched off his phone. Before months could even turn into years, the cracks are already visible.
Watu wananitukana wakiwa na rais na yeye amenyamaza.
The viper, the snake in your government, please shake it off.
Mheshimiwa majority leader amesema mimi ni nyoka na rais alikuwa hapo. Alipoamuka hakusema chochote.
Wewe usijaribu kufikiria ati unaweza nitisha sababu uko na cheo inakaribia rais hapo.
The deputy president felt sidelined. The president felt politically threatened. Trust slowly faded.
Tulipewa na yeye miaka 5. Tumefanya miaka 2. Kazi bado anza, mambo mingi imekwama. Akubali hiyo miaka imebaki 3, tufanyie wananchi nini? Vile ataamua mbele, tutaheshimu uamuzi wa.
At the center of the fallout was one powerful question. Who controls Mount Kenya? Gachagua saw himself as the political guardian of the region, the man who delivered the votes and therefore the voice that must be heard. Ruto, on the other hand, viewed Mount Kenya as a national political space, not anyone's personal stronghold.
Usijaribu kutupangia siasa ya Mlima Kenya na kutupangia uongozi wa Mlima Kenya.
When Gachagua publicly warned that the region was being strategically divided by some of Ruto's allies ahead of the 2027 elections and suggested that it might be time for the Mount Kenya to seek new friends, it crossed a red line. From that moment, the alliance was living on borrowed time. Slowly and deliberately, Rigathi Gachagua began to be isolated. When rumors of his impeachment started spreading, he said he was ready for it.
Wako very desperate ya kunipaka matope wakijaribu kunitoa kwa kazi. Lakini they will be shocked wakati ikifika. Wacha tungoje kama impeachment tuliambiwa itakuja kesho, tunangojea. Mawakili wetu wako tayari.
I am putting you, Rigathi Gachagua, on notice. You are going to be impeached. I can confirm that to you today. And I shall be in charge of that impeachment myself.
Si mimi niko. Kuna bahari mama mtu akiwa impeached atauawa.
According to Gachagua, the cracks also began when people around President Ruto tried to control the office of the DP. He claimed that some of Rift Valley MPs had started early 2032 succession politics, especially President's PA.
Personal assistant wake anataka kunisomea na kunipanga kazi. Mimi ni naibu wa rais, nimechaguliwa. Bosi wangu ni wawili, President William Ruto na wananchi wa Kenya.
He narrated a story where an MP from Rift Valley arrived at his residence an hour before the agreed time. Gachagua had stepped out briefly to shave, and when the security officers asked the MP to wait, the MP allegedly insulted him and claimed they could even impeach him.
Matusi, kasema hata pale State House sisi hatusimami kwa mlango. Hapa ni nani? Huyu ni nani? Anafikiria yeye ni nani? Na sisi ndio tulimweka hapa. Tunaweza hata mtoa.
Gachagua blamed the president, personal assistant, for being at the center of the misunderstanding because of early 2032 politics. He alleged that the aide wanted to control the office of the DP and was even collecting money from people who wanted to meet the DP.
Sasa iko wengine mumeshikana hapa Rift Valley na wana vijana wengine huko kwetu ati wanapanga siasa ya 2032. Nyinyi mnataka kumurithi Rais William Ruto akiwa hai.
And even before the honeymoon was over between Ruto and Gachagua's marriage, rumors spread that the deputy president had banged the table before the president. Others claimed he was being offered money to resign.
Sasa mimi nijiuzuru hii kazi, mimi sikujipea. Wewe kazi hujajipea unaweza toka. Na mimi hakuna makosa nimefanya. Mimi niko sawa. Kama kuna mtu anafikiria ataniuzia uoga ati nijiuzuru, asahau.
1st October 2024, 2:42 p.m. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula makes a major announcement.
Honorable members of a communication on a notice of motion for proposed removal from office by impeachment of His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
A notice of motion submitted by Kibwezi West MP Mwangi Mutuse. And just like that, the rumors are no longer rumors. They become reality. At 2:47 p.m., Mutuse enters Parliament, walking slowly and confidently, one step at a time into the chamber. The house is nearly full, and the mood suggests that something historic is about to happen.
Order, honorable members.
2:58 p.m.
The Honorable Mutuse.
Mutuse rises to speak, and he does not hold back.
This honorable house resolves to remove from office, by way of impeachment, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
This would be the most shameful act ever in the history of our National Assembly.
You can impeach a cabinet secretary. You can impeach a deputy president. You can impeach the president if you wish so. So, Mr. Speaker, this is an exercise that is given to us by the Constitution.
Overturning the will of the people is not a joke.
His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua has committed international crimes.
The crime of this man is just being truthful.
That when we have our two senior most gentlemen in this republic having such kind of a disagreement, we should seek the way of reconciliation.
We are discussing a motion that contains 11 grounds. We're not discussing any disagreements of anyone with his wife, with his boss, with his children, with his mother.
The Deputy President is a bully. The person of the Deputy President has been threatening public officials.
The motion runs nearly 100 pages, supported by documents, videos, and witnesses. The first such attempt under the 2010 Constitution.
The allegations that have been tabled by the mover of these motions are mere mudslinging, they are hearsay, they are gossips.
The grounds are concise, precise.
We are not dealing with an ordinary matter. We are not dealing with an ordinary man.
The man holding the office of the Deputy President has violated the same law that he swore to protect in his own oath of office.
We are dealing with a black man with a very black heart.
Rigathi Gachagua is the worst number 2 in the history of this country, whether a vice president or a deputy president.
What I found with Honorable Gachagua is lack of education.
He tables signatures of 291 MPs who support the motion, calling them patriots. The required 2/3 majority stands at 233 votes. The reality begins to sink. Kenya is about to experience a constitutional process that many never imagined could unfold.
The greatness of any nation lies in its fidelity to the Constitution and adherence to the rule of law, and above all, respect to God.
Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is crying. His goats were eaten the other day in Ruiru, and he's the one who sanctioned the eating of his goats.
I have no grudge, I have no malice, I have no ill will, I have no personal vendetta against His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua.
Meanwhile, some MPs question the neutrality of Speaker Wetangula, but he defends his position and assures the House of fairness.
Would it be in order for you and the Deputy Speaker to recuse yourself of this matter?
I am not conflicted in any way. I have no vote in this matter. I have no dog in this fight. And I can assure you the proceedings will proceed in accordance with fairness, the law, the Constitution, and the rules of natural justice.
Security concerns are raised for MPs who support the motion, and Parliament assures them of protection.
We have been told by certain quarters that before March of 2025, they say bendera itapepea mulingoti nusu.
Our president must be protected to the hilt.
The Speaker orders public participation across all 290 constituencies and suspends other House businesses to give the motion priority. Public hearings take place on 4th and 5th October 2024. Outside the chamber, the country watches closely as the throne grows hotter each day.
The Azimio people, Mr. Speaker, we have lived like orphans in this country for the last 2 years.
And when it became too hot, Gachagua had only one option: to seek forgiveness from the president and from the parliament.
So my brother President William Ruto, if in our zeal to work, I have wronged you, please find it in your heart to forgive me.
The man who stood on every platform defending the government, the man who fought political battles without hesitation, now finds himself standing alone.
Mimi ni mnyonge na mimi sina ushawishi mkubwa, na mimi niko mkononi mwa wabunge na maseneta, vile wataamua mimi nitakubali tukiwa na watu wangu.
The numbers in parliament are no longer in his favor. His allies grow silent. One by one, the voices that once defended him fade away.
Rigathi Gachagua ought and must be impeached today.
The political ground beneath him shifts fast, and time runs out.
If you have to spend 2 hours on national TV to defend corruption and tell the world how you are not corrupt, you are definitely corrupt.
Through it all, President William Ruto remains silent. There's no public statement, no visible show of support, and no comments. The man he once called brother, the man he defended when the system turned against him, now says nothing. In politics, silence can be louder than words, and for Rigathi Gachagua, that silence said everything. Tuesday, 8th October 2024, 9:16 a.m. National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula makes his way into the chamber. It is a slow, heavy walk. This is not just another sitting. This is not just another motion. This is the day he presides over the possible fall of a man he once called a political ally and a friend. But when duty calls, friendship steps aside. He takes his seat, and before anything else, he makes a prayer.
Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu.
The chamber falls silent. It is heavier than procedure. This is a moment that acknowledges the weight of what's about to happen. Careers, reputations, and a political future hanging in the balance.
Amen.
After the prayer, the public participation report is tabled by Suba-North MP Millie Odhiambo, presenting views collected from citizens across the country. Parliament also denies media reports suggesting a low turnout of Kenyans to participate in the exercise. Then Mwengi Mutuse once again stands on the floor of the National Assembly. This is his moment to give every reason possible for MPs to vote yes to the impeachment motion.
For purposes of dividing Kenya, the Deputy President today must be impeached.
This matter can wait to 2027 so that we can focus on service delivery to our people.
He lays out 11 accusations one by one, presenting documents, citing statements, and at some point even playing video evidence.
None of these issues here meet the threshold.
He has described the Kenya government as a shareholding company.
Kuna wenye kampuni, wale wako na shares mingi, kuna wale wako na chache, kuna wale hawana.
And he told the people of Ukambani that they should not even be having a cabinet minister in government. He went to Bungoma and told the people of Bungoma that they have too many appointments in government and the votes they brought are not equivalent to the votes they brought.
Si wale walipanda na wavune kwanza. Wakishavuna wavune ile tabaki kidogo, wale wakupanda waingie watafute huko nini ile tapatikana wachukue kwende.
During the post-election clashes in Molo, he was a district officer in Molo. The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya is on record as being the person who ordered demolitions in Mavoko constituency in Athi River.
I will not oversee, supervise, forced, brutal eviction against the people of Kenya.
The county government of Nairobi made a decision to relocate traders from CBD, and the Deputy President recklessly and without regard to the high office that he holds, went to incite people to obey lawful decisions of the county government of Nairobi, hence undermining devolution.
How members of parliament would want to send me home for going to listen to people who are crying that they need to be listened to?
The Deputy President is a president in waiting. And if he cannot, he's a president in waiting. And if he cannot protect and uphold the independence of the judiciary, that becomes a dangerous man.
That I need to be impeached from office because my children have dared to borrow money, buy property in their name and invest in their own country.
Which Kenyan, 23 years old, can walk into a bank? Where do you get the security to secure 600 million loan?
These are young people, children. Why do you want to destroy their future?
The chamber listens carefully. Everyone understands this is history unfolding.
As Adio, he was sacked on 30th July 1997.
Honorable Raphael Wanjala has produced a photocopy of a document that we cannot get its authenticity.
This is the country that we shall bequeath to our children. And if the country is destroyed by reckless leaders like His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, there will be nothing to bequeath our future generations. If anything, and God forbid, happens to the president who is in power today, is this the man you would want to complete the term as president? Please vote to impeach Rigathi Gachagua on all the grounds.
On 8 October 2024 from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., Rigathi Gachagua appears before the National Assembly. He's given 2 uninterrupted hours to speak, either personally or through his lawyers. Like a warrior, he walks in himself accompanied by his legal team, including Senior Counsel Paul Mwite, Elisha Ongoya, Ndengwa Njiru, and other advocates. The man who stood on campaign tracks, the man who addressed rallies and commanded crowds, now stands before Parliament not as a political warrior, but as a man fighting for survival. When he takes the microphone from 5:20 p.m. to 6:50 p.m., the atmosphere changes. This is no longer politics as usual. This is personal. This is emotional. This is the moment a sitting deputy president defends his name, defends his career, defends his future before the same house that once cheered him. Before his appearance on 7th October, Gachagua held a media briefing saying he wants to defend himself publicly and explaining his side to the nation. His supporters called it transparency. His accusers said he's making the situation worse, digging his grave deeper.
If the deputy president had been quiet, he would have carried many people in this house. But he did not tame the tongue. And every time he spoke, he's just showing further and further division of the country.
That somebody has sat down to draft a motion to impeach the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And one of the grounds is that he has interfered with the devolution by leading the war to fight illicit brews and drugs. This is a height of absurdity. And Parliament will be the theater of the absurd.
Members, are we a theater of absurd?
I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. If the House took it that I say the House is a theater of the absurd.
The Speaker had earlier discouraged such public engagement, reminding him that he is directly involved in the motion before the House. Among the allegations presented by Mutuse are serious claims, allegations of money laundering, with the questions raised about why one person is linked to 22 companies.
It is also not true that with my sons I use Crystal Kenya to massively launder money.
Kwa miaka miwili kampuni 22, Mheshimiwa Spika, hata mimi moja sina.
The very fact that you take 90 minutes to explain you are not corrupt is prima facie evidence of corruption.
The controversial shareholding remarks. Is Kenya a company?
The Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya does not allocate resources. Resources for the development of the Republic of Kenya are appropriated by the National Assembly of Kenya, where I am today.
Everybody has their home. The Deputy President comes from Mount Kenya, and every good thing starts from Jerusalem.
This country is for us all.
The number of times he has said Mount Kenya are more than the times he has said Kenya.
This idea that they work for Kenya Kwanza government and that they must eat, it is their time to eat.
The succession of his late brother Nderitu Gachagwa's wealth. Did he grab everything and leave the widows and children with nothing?
When I hear a widow in Mount Kenya being tortured, being snatched property by the Deputy President, whether she is Kikuyu and she's a widow, she is representing all the widows in Kenya. Unaacha mayatima, unaacha mjane, unamtesa. So Gachagua return the matrimonial property, the bank accounts, everything that you took from that widow.
About how proudly can you say that you are only enjoying the property of your brother? For that reason alone, Honorable Speaker, we say Gachagua must go.
Kwa kutesa mjane, Gachagua must go. Kwa kukula pesa za mahindi, Gachagua must go. Pia umedhulumu bibi wawili wa marehemu ndugu yako aliyekuwa gavana wa Nyeri. Utakuwaje upewe flati 10 na wao wapewe 5 na ni wawili na kuna na watoto? Jamani, ni sheria gani?
The Kemsa Mosquito scandal. Did he bully officials to secure a $1 billion tender?
It is not true, as claimed in paragraph 3 of the witness affidavit of Andrew Molwa, that I was involved in the KEMSA 3.7 billion irregular procurement of malaria nets, either directly or through proxy.
You cannot trade with government and you are a state officer.
Juzi na jana alikuwa milioni 800, yani kama mali yake. Hivi karibuni ati ni bilioni 5.2. Kwa muda mchache tu pesa hizo umezipata wapi?
Accusations of making offensive remarks. Did Gachagua refer to an MP as a prostitute?
I have tremendous respect for Kenyan women, and I have never disrespected them. What has happened is that as politicians, there is always propaganda to undermine somebody.
So when a woman is being a prostitute, who is the other prostitute? Then he must be the one.
Mashimo yako saba kwa kila mtu alioumbwa. Wanaume wanayo, wanawake wanayo. Kama ni malaya basi ni wote.
If you call me a prostitute, was I doing myself? There must be somebody in a trouser too.
Aliita mmoja wetu Mheshimiwa Jematia na kumuita malaya.
It is nobody's choice to be a malaya. These are mothers.
Unapoita mwanamke yoyote malaya, umeita wamama wote wa Kenya malaya.
I don't know. I think there is something wrong in this country.
Concerns of a parallel address in Mombasa during the Gen Z protests, where he criticized NIS Director Nordin Haji despite being a member of National Security Council. Is he opposing the same government he's supposed to support?
Had Nordin Haji done his job, we will not be where we are today.
In any case, the Director General of NIS is not above the law. He is a public officer.
You have failed as DCI. We don't want you to fail our elections. Tunaelewana? Huyo bwana Kinoti awache hiyo ujinga yake anaendesha pale.
I have learned from my boss how this job is done.
But resign from that office and allow the president to pick a competent Director General.
But Honorable Speaker, we cannot have a situation where you talk that recklessly in public about our National Intelligence Service being dysfunctional. For a state which is permanently under terror target and attack.
And I never saw anybody bring William Ruto here for impeachment.
Unless you have a shrunken hippocampus in your brain, then you go displaying what your master is doing instead of being the real assistant of even covering up.
Hour after hour, the House debated. In total, there were 7 hours of debate followed by the DP's 2-hour defense. Emotions rise. Voices grow louder.
Honorable Speaker, I also hope that you have noted the Honorable Amombi has hit me with a bottle of water.
As to the extent that the Speaker didn't see and Honorable Kaguja is not claiming any injury, let's leave it there.
Naibu wa Rais amesahau dawa zake kumeza ama kuna shida, Mheshimiwa Spika? Tungetaka kujua ni dawa gani ambazo Mheshimiwa anaongea juu yake. Huo ndio makosa ya kupatia mabubu kuzungumza, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nimesema huenda ikawa, sijasema amesahau, nimesema huenda ikawa, nilifikiria, nilikisia.
Impeaching the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya needs more evidence than what he has provided. I find this to be very shallow.
So Rigathi Gachagua is guilty of treason.
Me, I'm a grateful man. I remember, and I'll never forget, during the last administration when I was arrested on fabricated charges, starting with the President William Ruto against the wish of the government at that time. That is, Boshola came and sat with me at DCI headquarters, brought me tea, brought me lunch, sat with me, comforted me. At court, she coordinated the collection of 12.5 billion shillings as my cash bail. She came to see me in Gigiri for 4 days and had very kind words for me. Despite what you have said, my sister, I do remember that one good thing that you did for me. And I love you and cherish you for this in my life.
I'm very disturbed the way our Deputy President has been behaving. It's my democratic position to oppose the motion. Order. Honorable Speaker.
I support this motion for every reason and every accusation.
I rise to defend the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
And nobody can assume that I cannot make my contribution. Kenyans have more serious things. I oppose, Honorable Speaker. It was a wrong man to be in this office in the first place. Most of you, majority of you, are doing exactly what is being said in this motion. It's only that don't say it publicly. For Kenya to grow, Gachagua must go. To stop tribalism, Gachagua must go.
I say no to that impeachment.
Today we are using the sword to impeach you just to protect the children that are suffering, that you threatened. We will finish you today in this floor of the House.
He does not know the job description of a deputy president.
His mentality is that he got votes for President Ruto, and so it is his time to eat.
Is the member Honorable Kajiang in order to say that there is a mentality that the deputy president has a mentality to eat?
Pronounce my name properly. I'm not Kachechwa. I am Kajuang, not Kanjoang.
But in the middle of all this conversation, one phrase echoes repeatedly. Kufa makanga, kufa dereva.
Kufa makanga, kufa dereva, kufa mechanic. Because Kenyans are more serious issues. And when they die, we want a new renewal of this country, Honorable Speaker.
Now, the phrase suggests that if the conductor, the DP, faces impeachment, the driver, President William Ruto, should face the same fates.
The motion here is on the in quote makanga. It's not on the driver. So people want to bring the motion on the driver in quote can bring, but the one we are dealing with now is on makanga.
We cannot allow the driver to die because it is an issue. We are witnessing a situation where the makanga wants to take the steering by force.
Huyu conductor ameweza kupickpocket maabiria wote, hawana chochote, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
MPs react to it. Some dismiss it, some laugh, some grow uncomfortable. But the phrase hangs in the air, heavy and symbolic.
We cannot allow the driver to die because 55 million Kenyans are going to die with him. But the makanga, who is just hanging at the door there of the matatu, can go, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, if we have to find a situation where a school has failed, you do not fire the deputy principal. You get rid of the principal.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
As the evening settles in, one truth becomes clear. This is no ordinary parliamentary sitting. This is a moment that tests loyalty, tests power, and shakes the very throne.
That the problem with Africans is that they don't resign until they are kicked out.
Duale was eaten by his government, today is a CS. Former Deputy Speaker of the Senate, Kithure Kindiki, was eaten by his government, now he's also a CS. Former Chair of Budget of this National Assembly was eaten by his government, today is the majority leader. I don't know, we are now eating Rigiji, where will he end up?
The Honorable Deputy President told us that siku hizi wa Kisii tumejaa jela kushinda wa Kikuyu.
Mr. Speaker, I only wish that the energy that we are expending here to send a question to all Kenyans about one individual was being used to fight the issues that are failing us in our education, in our health sector.
We have only 3 years to go before the end of the term. So why breach the peace?
The debates grow tired. The voices that forward all afternoon now fall into a tense, restless silence. Mwengi Mutuse has made his case. Rigathi Gachagua has defended his name. Members of parliament have spoken, some with fire, some with sympathy, some with quiet calculations. And then the moment arrives. At exactly 8:20 p.m., the chamber feels different. The air is thicker, heavier. This is no longer about speeches, no longer about persuasion. Now it is about numbers.
The voting will be as follows.
The clerk rises, papers in hand. One by one, names echo through the chamber with the roll call vote. Each name called is not just a name, it is a verdict. Each response is not just a word, it is a decision that could end a career, could reshape alliances, and rewrite political history.
Vote no. I vote yes.
Outside parliament, the country waits. Inside, destiny unfolds, syllable by syllable, name by name. This is the final step, a roll call vote. Out of 349 MPs, the constitution requires 233 votes, a 2/3 majority. If the threshold is not met, then the matter ends there. If achieved, the motion proceeds to Senate, where at least 45 out of the 67 senators must uphold the impeachment for it to stand. As voting concludes, something unusual happens. Even before the results are announced, celebrations begin on the floor of the House. It is as if the outcome is already known and they are happy with it, then the results are read.
The nays, 44. Abstentions, 1. And the ayes, 281.
The motion has passed. National Assembly votes to impeach the DP.
Order.
The matter now proceeds to the Senate.
A total of 281 members, being more than 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly.
The same parliament elected on a joint ticket with him has turned against him. The same political movement he helped build now abandons him, and the fall moves to its final stage. My name is Millennium, and see you in part 2 of Betrayal on the Throne.